So, I haven't made a video in a while, but I've been busy and I finally just got the time today. Today's video is going to be over a grouping that I got. Well, I didn't get in, well, specifically, probably well over 8 years ago now. My father bought this for me the first time I went to a World War II reenactment. There's a couple vendors selling uniforms. I got this particular grouping right here because I basically begged my dad to buy it for me because that was when I started collecting, really. And he bought them for me, kind of hesitantly because I guess he was being a little cheap. It came with a pair of pants, but I'm not showing that because the waist size is 38. These uniforms, I do not think the person that wore them had a 38-inch size waist, to say the least. Although those pants are relatively more rare and wanted due to the size. But anyways, this is an Eisenhower jacket and an M37 wool undershirt, both of which came from the same person. I'll show you that. These belong to a Staff Sergeant K.P. Cole. Now, in the back, behind the collar, on this M37, I think was the one bit of information that I saw first. His name quite clearly stenciled in the back there. This one has the gas flap, ruptured duck on it. This one has rayon chevrons, but still overall an interesting piece. It doesn't have the tag, so it does have the tag, but it's so faded I can't make out what date. Now the date on the Eisenhower I have made out, but I can't quite remember it. Anyways, getting off topic here, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Eisenhower jacket, as there's not much to this one. I mean, other than the fact that there is a repaired button. I believe that's original to it. This button used to be there for the right breast pocket, but it fell off, and this one's always been missing. But anyways, the Eisenhower jacket has the most information on it. I believe that there's a laundry number right there, and down in the bottom here, yet again his name, and I think another laundry number or something. I'm not quite sure. Then here, further on the inside, yeah, right there, you can see Cole, but in front of it, you can't see it, but you can kind of see it right there. There is KP. I'll unbutton this later and give you a better look at it. But on this uniform, we have wool chevrons, which I think it's very nice compared to the rayon. I prefer wool. I know many people prefer the rayon, but I just think the wool looks a lot nicer, especially on the Eisenhower jacket. On the left sleeve, by the shoulder, we have a European Theater of Operations patch. And on the right sleeve, we have the quote-unquote combat patch for the 2nd Corps. Now, the 2nd Corps are most well known for their operation and partaking of Operation Torch in North Africa, as well as the invasion of Sicily. There's many other things they're known for, but that's what I can tell you right off the top of my head as of right now. According to the overseas bars, which we can see here on the lower left sleeve, each one stands for 6 months overseas in service. According to the amount we have here, Staff Sergeant K.P. Cole was overseas for 3.5 years. Now, The Second Corps and Operation Torch first took place, I believe, May of 1942 or April. And if we're going to go ahead and judge how long Staff Sergeant K.P. Cole was in service, it is very likely that, depending on when he got out of service, or he took part in Operation Torch. Now, I don't know that for sure. Eventually, I'm going to go ahead and use the website Golden Arrow Research. Very nice website. You can send in and request that they go ahead and do some research for you on your soldier, that you have any named gear. They will look through the National Archives, something of that sort. Anything from Navy, USMC, World War II, World War I, Vietnam, Korea. Very nice website. And pull back, give you anything that they can find. Sadly, there's a fire that took place in the National Archives in 1973, and a lot of the Army documentation was destroyed in it. But I will eventually go ahead and send that in and see what I can find. Because from other research and other sources I have found, his initials KP might stand for Carl P. Cole or Kenneth P. Cole. Both options that I saw from research on one website, Kenneth P. Cole was born in 1855 and a resident of Mexico, so I don't think that's him. This is him. And he was born in 1855, so I'm very sure this isn't him. Carl P. Cole, I don't know. Those are just some possibilities. Now, this uniform is special to me, not because it only started off my collecting, my love for collecting. It's a nice uniform, it's a nice grouping. For the pants, this wool shirt, undershirt, and the Ike, back in the day when we got it, we only paid about $55 for all of this. And I get that was a long time ago, and prices now have honestly increased a lot. Inflation in the market, you could say, because they're not worth nearly as much as people would try and say they are nowadays. I mean, a normal Eisenhower jacket from the Second World War without much patches on it or anything is $20. But you can see people trying to sell them for $40, and then you see people trying to sell the Korean War era Eisenhower jackets for the same price, saying, oh, it's authentic World War II. That's a little off topic from this. This uniform, to me, is special because, like I said, not only did it start off my collecting, but whenever you buy a uniform, you always check the pockets. And inside the right breast pocket of this uniform is a veterans-made poppy. It doesn't look like a poppy, but it's made of paper and it's quite old. You can see that there's nothing wrapped around the stem like usually other poppies are. That tells you what it is or whatnot. But this is an American Legion poppy, and I know for a fact because the paper on it is still in here. I'd rather not. I'll dig it out and be very gentle with it. There's only one part here. There's another part on the inside. The American Legion, you can kind of tell just from that. There's another piece of paper in here. There we are. I need to be very gentle with this because it's very frail. But here you go, the American Legion Auxiliary veteran-made poppy. And the best part about it is this is not a recent poppy. It's made out of paper, and I mean, it seems quite old, doesn't it? Well, on the back here, in memoriam 1951. Now, I don't know how this poppy was acquired by this man, but I have a feeling that he went to some sort of, reunion or just to celebrate Veterans Day. I don't believe that Veterans Day was put in place at that time period, though. I'm not quite sure. But it's a veteran-made poppy from 1951. Now, I know that people have found various things in pockets of uniforms, extra patches, jump wings, EGAs, money even. But to me, that doesn't come close to this. That's special. Because I can tell you already that this soldier, Kenneth P. Cole, well, K.P. Cole, I don't know if he is Kenneth P. Cole, had this poppy in his pocket, the pocket of his Eisenhower jacket, for over 50 years. I believe it is original to the uniform, not added in later, because I don't see why you would add that in later. And to me, that's just something special. That's something that you don't see very often. It's amazing. Something small and frail such as that lasting that long. To me, it's just ridiculous. I'm repeating myself here, but it's an amazing piece of history. And I'm happy to be able to hold it. So I will set this down here for a second so I can unbutton the jacket and show you the name, the initials in the bottom right. The only thing I don't understand about it is for the fact that it is in a different kind of marker. There was some sort of marker, just so those who don't believe it, that was used to put laundry numbers in jackets and the such. That is such a thing. So it's not like it's Sharpie, but there you go. You can see K.P. Cole. The odd thing about it is it's a little bit different than this signature over here. Well, quite different. But most likely because it was in a different kind of ink. I'm wondering why he did that. And in this uniform too, the cool thing is below that stamp, stencil of his name, I mean, there's another one. It's quite lighter, but still. This is one of my... it's a term collectors can use, and people that, just collect stuff in general use. You have a holy grail item. Something that is absolutely on the top of your list. And I suppose that my big list of holy grail items, this is one of them. A named uniform from a veteran that I have the chance and the ability to research this man, find out more about him, and just learn a story untold by history. That probably hasn't seen the light of day in who knows how long. I mean, that's not like saying I have a holy grail item which my great-great-great-uncles, well, my great-great-uncles, I don't know, one of the two, helmet or uniform from when he served in the Marine Corps and was on Iwo Jima. I don't have that. The side of my family that has it, we aren't in touch with. That's one of those unobtainable holy grail items, they can only wish to have. This, on the other hand, is something that I can hold in my hands, and it's a piece of history. There's too much that I can say about it, but I think you get the point. So, and if anyone can help figure out anything about this soldier or anything, I would appreciate it. Anyway, that'll do it for today. I'll probably put up another video on, because eventually I plan on making videos on each individual helmet in my collection that I have, just to show the interesting things about them, because all my helmets are kind of interesting. It's not like they're named or anything, but they do have things particular to them. But anyway, that'll do it for today's video, and I appreciate you watching.